John, another good result at the weekend, and a brace from Stephen McGlynn. Probably one of the least likely to score, but two important goals nonetheless. How big a win was that for you guys?
Every win's important, absolutely. You can't take anything for granted in this league. You've got to be on it right for the start, and you've got to try and keep your focus for the whole time. No, it was great for Stephen to get the 2 goals, and I think we'll need to share the goals throughout the squad, throughout the whole season. And we need that. We need players, everyone, to produce goals. So very, very important, really important. And I think it just shows that, again, Stephen being more of a defensive midfield player, that you can still get up there and add some goals to his game and to help the team out and get goals as well. He took the 2 goals really, really well. Very composed finishes, and a little bit of an example to others who may be a little bit rash and a little bit showing less composure and sometimes trying to burst the ball instead of maybe just like placing it in the corner. So as I say, every win you want to make this place a fortress. Our home record's very good, and we need to try and do a little bit better away from home. We've not had too many games, but we've got a couple of defeats away from home to Airdrie and Kelly, and obviously are on the eve of going to Peterhead and playing up there. And we want to try and get our home form better by going up to Peterhead and winning the game.
You mentioned defensive players chipping in with goals, and you want the whole team to kind of to chip in with that. And I know you mentioned after the last game that we'd had 40 shots in the last 2 games and only put away 4 of them. But it must be good to know that you're creating those chances, and then you see against Clyde that players like McGlynn getting those opportunities because of the amount of chances that your team is creating.
Absolutely, yeah. No, our play is good. Our play is good, and it's attacking, and we've got loads of movement in it, and we're passing the ball really, really well, and hopefully we can play well on the grass at Peterhead. And it's normally a good park. They don't train on it or anything like that. So you've got a right chance of getting a good surface up there, and that'll give us a good chance to pass the ball. So yeah, our play is attacking. It's as I say, loads of movement. We like to get our fullbacks forward, as been shown, in other games, and like Partick, Liam McCann getting down the wide areas and getting a cross in for Gary to score. And we want to be getting that on both sides of the park, and players getting in the box. So yeah, and even at set plays, Big Call gets his head on that first goal, and he flicks it on an area where Stephen comes in and scores from. So we look for our bigger lads as well, our central defenders, to chip in with a goal here and there. And that'll be needed, absolutely needed. Yeah, they're there to defend set plays and to defend in general, but also at the other end to add a goal or 2. And there'll be days where we'll need that. A game where it's 0-0 and a defender crops up with a header from a corner or a free kick. And that again is very timely, because that's what happened last week at East End Park late in the game when Peterhead scored from a header from a free kick. So again, a warning to us as well that we'll need to defend up there at Peterhead.
And we talked a bit earlier in the season about Peterhead, and you mentioned how sometimes they have a bit of a shaky start, but they always get into the flow of things and start hitting a bit of form. So it's always a tough place to go. How have you kind of approached this one in terms of preparation with the players and training and the things you've been telling them in the lead up to this?
Yeah, obviously every game is different, and what I was saying earlier in the season is bearing fruits a little bit now, in that Jim loses a lot of his players in the summer, and then he's got to get them in, and that can be difficult. With the League Cup being a competition that starts our season and having to get signed players, so sometimes you can be in this situation probably rushed into making decisions, and then you find out a few weeks down the road that you actually need some other players, and that's kind of where he is. And his team will have changed, not drastically, but it has changed. And they've managed to get a good win against Kelly, and they've managed to come back there against Dunfermline last Saturday. They had a game on Wednesday night, which we were at, and we obviously seen that they managed to keep Edinburgh out for a long spells. 80 odd minutes before they got their first goal, Edinburgh, and they finally win 2-0. But they showed a resilience and a spirit that they could cause problems, and that's what we need to be wary of. But yeah, we obviously look at the opposition immediately after our last game, and so we immediately go on to Peterhead and looking at the analysis on them and putting that across to our players, and that's we give them every bit of information to realise what they're going to come up against, what their strengths are, and where we try to look to cash in at the other end of the pitch. So yeah, I mean, we pride ourselves on preparation. We don't, personally, myself and Paul, we don't cross that line. We can't influence once the guys. So our preparation is everything, and in-game recognition in-game, and trying to then adjust things as you see, But the vast majority is the work you do for the minute you come back in after the game on a Saturday to the actual game on the following Saturday, and that's what we can pride ourselves in, and that's what we go about doing, keeping the boys sharp, bright. There's a feel-good factor about the team, and I would suggest about the clubs and in the stands, because people are coming along, big numbers, and they seem to be enjoying what they're seeing. And when you're looking at having created all these chances, then that's got the fans on the edge of their seats, and that's what we want to produce. That's what we want to produce, and I think we are producing that. And so the trick is to continue doing it, and that's what we have to do, because teams will then try to stop us, and then we've got to overcome that. We've got to get solutions to that, and that's all part of it.
And last week we talked about some players coming back from injury, less players kind of now on the sidelines waiting to come back. So you're going into this month with more squad depth. However, with the way the team's playing now, it's going to be hard for those players coming back to find their way back into the team. But how healthy is that competition, and how vital is that, especially when it's going to be a packed October in terms of fixtures? We've got six games in the month. Is that a chance perhaps for a wee bit of rotation?
Yeah, well, I mean, the injuries we've still got, Ryan Williamson, it's slow, I would suggest. It's slow. It's as I mentioned earlier, maybe after a game, I could say like 2 weeks, and then on the 13th day or 14th he breaks down, and so that's kind of how it's been. It's a little bit day by day where Ryan. Sometimes it's a good day and sometimes it's a bad day, and unfortunately there's no time scale on that. It's still not ready. So PJ Morrison went through an operation yesterday to tidy up his knee, and they did a little bit of scraping on his meniscus. So again, we're probably looking somewhere about 2 months away. So these two guys are coming into the longer term category now. Ryan being out already for some time, and also PJ. After that, Paul Watson continues in his rehab and is progressing fairly well, but he's still long term. Jimmy Wilson has this abdominal situation that he's got, which again we're just rehabbing. So these are the guys that are out right now. Everyone else is available, and of course that makes us very, very strong on the bench, and that's where we are. We find ourselves with a really strong squad. And I look around at one or two other teams, and I've been at a few games, even I was at Montrose and Airdrie on Tuesday. I was at Edinburgh myself, Paul, and Edinburgh FC Edinburgh, and Peterhead on Wednesday night, and you're looking at the teams, and there's a few of them, thin in the ice with players. I think we're looking particularly strong on the bench, and the competition is healthy. Yeah, we managed to pick up a bounce game just about 2 weeks ago. We got a bounce game against St Johnstone. We've got a bounce game on Tuesday night, so that's keeping all the other players on their toes and getting them game time, and that's why that's good. That's good. That means that players are, if they get an opportunity, they've had some game time and they're ready to go, and they're breathing down the necks of the guys got a jersey. If you want to keep that jersey, you play well in a winning team, you've got a right good chance of staying in that team. And so I mean that's how it is. That's how it is. Some players can't handle that. I'm generalising. I'm not suggesting other players. There are players who are more comfortable when they know that there's loads of players who are injured, so I'm going to play every week, and they actually relax and play. And there's other players who will thrive on the competition and say, you're not getting my jersey, I'm going to work even harder and do even better. So it's that mix and that blend and getting that right. But at the moment, it's, for me, it's going right. Obviously after the game, you're a little bit disappointed we don't score more goals. I think that's not a bad complaint. I think that's not a bad complaint. Hopefully we turn more of our attacks and our goal scoring opportunities into actual goals, and that'll obviously increase our goal difference.
All right, John, thank you for your time and all the best for the game tomorrow.
Thank you.